Welcome back, everybody, to Brown Bag Bets. Powered by BetSperts, we are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christensen, and joining me, as always, Mr. Andy Molitor. And by the way, Andy, I didn't want to mention it yesterday, but congratulations for finally realizing that today is Thursday and not Friday.
I did it. I'm pretty proud of myself. It is Thursday, and it is still the absolute doldrums. Although there's a ton of tennis today, there's a ton of golf. There's a tournament that started in the middle of the night with some really big names: Shane Lowry, Seamus Power. Basically, if you're Irish, you played in it. And a lot of Brits and other Europeans ended up at the Irish Open. That shit was happening at like 2 a.m. And then we had Central Time tea times for the big PGA tournament, the Iowa tournament this morning, and then I think it's 2 p.m. Central, 3 Eastern. You can pop YouTube on and watch the Live tournament. So live, laugh, love, watch golf all day, Wimbledon all day, baseball. I think there's some day games, so not the worst kind of a Thursday by any means.
Now, Thursdays are usually good. Yeah, we do. We've got an afternoon game. Your Twinnies playing the Cleveland baseball team. You excited? You're going to have that on? Any chance you just go? I mean, blow out the afternoon?
It is in Cleveland.
Uh,
So
I
I
didn't
have
notice that the Cleveland
driven
baseball team was on the bottom there. So, yeah,
I
no,
have driven
can't
to
do that.
Cleveland. I've been to a game. It's a nice ballpark. Terrible town. I had of all the baseball trips I've been to, I would rank Cleveland very low on, hey, I enjoyed my time in this town. Just
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is really cool.
yeah, it was just okay. Like I'm not saying it was like some garbage dump, but it was just it didn't rank up there with Denver and some of these. Honestly, Kansas City. Kansas City was a pretty nice town. So I will not be making it down to the game. Although as long as you got me on a weird tangent, you want to hear something weird?
Sure.
So I had a dentist appointment yesterday. Lady asked me what I do. I never know what to say because I have a weird job. Like I'm in like sports media, and she says, "Oh yeah, like a lot of different sports and stuff." I suppose she's like, "There's not a ton right now." I said, "You're preaching to the choir." I said, "There's baseball or there's tennis, there's golf right now." She's like, "Oh yeah, I finally made it to like my first Twins game." And she's like, "I went a few weeks ago." And so this, I don't know. I'm not going to guess how old she was, but she's a full grown person she said she had grown children. So you can make your own conclusions there. Said it was her first Twins game. And she's like, "Yeah, it was fun. They won. Some kid ran on the field." I'm like, fuck, was it like a couple Saturdays ago? Her only Twins game, this weird hygienist I never met, was the one I was at. And I think she was in my section. Like she described where she was at. It's just a weird. I don't like it when the universe throws coincidences at me like that. It makes me. It
That is
makes me.
uncomforting.
Well, it makes me think on for and it made me think I should bet on some baseball today. 'Cause
Well,
it
is there
was
anyone that's
weird.
after you? Is there a chance like that this is some person who was hired to hunt you and has taken the time to become a hygienist and the move is next time on the appointment? I don't know, mess with like the tank or
I don't
something?
know. She seemed pretty experienced. She gave me a good cleaning. So yeah, just a weird deal, honestly. So it made me say I should bet on baseball today, and I'm going to. Because again, there's a day baseball game. It's my team, and there's not much else going on. And I'm already down money thanks to Kelly playing overnight AFL. Thanks for nothing, Western Bulldogs. Couldn't even keep it close. But yeah, the big thing this morning, we did a deep dive last night. We had Vinny on, got into the Tour de France, but first we talked Wimbledon, and boy, did we talk up Roberto Bautista Agut, and I mean, he has a nice number. He had like three nice numbers on him. Somebody in the chat said, "Hey, what do you think of this price for
It's
him to
all
win the
good.
quarter still?" And we said, that's probably not a bad price still. And COVID got him. So there's been multiple Berrettini as well, but that was pre-playing. So and we did talk about that. Anybody bet Berrettini should have got their money back. But yeah, RBA out. It has turned into a weird thing. And honestly, like the winner of just the way these are working out, the winner of Zverev, I'm mixing up my shitheads, Kyrgios and Tsitsipas, like that person's in the semifinals, I think, unless again they beat themselves, as either of those men can do with their various mental afflictions, I'll say. I don't know. One's an airhead, one's a bonehead. So it's kind of looking like the quarterfinals will be pretty fun. We'll have that one. We'll have Fritz Nadal probably. We'll have Joker. Joker, I think, is over minus 200 now to win the tournament with some of the names flushing out, and he hasn't even played well yet. So it's been a weird ATP fortnight. What are we, 4 days into a fortnight? Not even
Fortnite, yes.
three and a half into a fortnight. We've already had multiple major COVID problems. We're missing one already because of the war in Russia. So it's been a goofy draw, and it might just end up being the doll Joker once again. So I'll look forward to that. If I have any bets on it, I'll let you guys know. I've been taking it pretty easy, which seems like let's just say it. I'm up 6 units in ATP because I feel like at this point I would have been down six if I would have been betting. So I just consider myself I'm up. Like being even is up six,
You're
6.4.
over budget.
Yeah, I'm over budget. I under promised, over delivered. And then Holt says, yeah, randomly, but there is a big UFC card. I might do something with that. Over the weekend, big UFC card, Nathan's hot dog eating contest. It's a whole thing. You know what I'm doing this weekend before we get to your Wimbledon?
Hmm. What
There's
do you
this
got?
massive, massive branch hanging over our house. It's getting a little big, a little dangerous. We brought a tree company out there a week ago. Said, and he's like, "Oh my god, yeah, this is just a disaster waiting to happen." And he gave us a really good price. I'm gonna have him take out some apple trees that have kind of died too. And wife texted me yesterday when I'm in a meeting. She's like, "Yeah, that the tree didn't wait." Like in the time it took to get these people a down payment, that branch fell. But it fell funny, completely missed the house. So
That's good.
yeah, but I do have I
A
don't
lot
know,
of wood to clean up.
40 foot. Yeah, it's like this big on the one end, 40-foot branch to chop up. So
Good
chains, maybe
workout
I'll
for
take
you
a
today.
picture. I'll send the wife take a picture of Andy and his chaps. And if you were to clip that without context, that would, and you didn't know I was talking about the stuff you wear for chainsaw safety, that would sound awful weird. But yeah, no, Andy takes very good care and wears his chaps because one time he may have nicked himself in the leg with a chainsaw.
That is not fun. But you know what you should do? Go to the local CrossFit gym and say you're giving out free workouts. Go buy like 6 axes and get them out there. They'll knock it out for you.
Yes. Honestly, axe. I have an axe too. I can't imagine trying to chop that thing with an axe.
Right. Free
Who
CrossFit
thinks about
workout.
free CrossFit? CrossFit. Yeah, you got to give your CrossFit gym a dumb name. It's like CrossFit Affliction, something like that.
Tree
Cross
fit cross.
CrossFit Arbor Pain. We have not gotten very
We'll
far into
figure
the
this
show
out.
yet. It's been a squirrely Thursday. So, either way, good job on first set +4. Never in doubt. Something is in doubt in that match. It's going to be interesting to see. I haven't caught where we're at right now. What's the update on Iga?
Took the first set 6-4. We're on serve in the second.
All right. Well, +4 again. Never in doubt. Breaking out to that 2-1 lead right away. That was beautiful, guaranteeing the push. And yeah, we'll look at some more stuff. You've added some futures. You couldn't get enough of Wimbledon. You needed to add to your portfolio. But this is the first time hearing about that. I haven't been paying attention this morning.
Yeah, you mentioned we've had a lot of nonsense, but although it's just been a few days, you have to remember, Andy, we're more than halfway through the tournament, right? I mean, the
Yeah.
first round itself is half the matches. We're now into the second round here, so hopefully these things kind of slow down. And again, this is me knocking on wood because it's awfully strange that just the men have COVID so far. Hopefully, nothing crazy happens on the women's side. And yeah, did add a couple futures. Do have a couple match bets left for tomorrow. Again, just given the timing of the show and everything, most of today is done. As I look at the matches that are still in, nothing sticks out to me from an in-play perspective. For the rest of the day, Halep Flipkins, that should be pretty straightforward. Goff Buzarnescu, that should be pretty straightforward. Honestly, I probably won't even watch those. They'll be fairly boring. But for tomorrow, a underdog and a total. We're going to take Shuai Zhang. We've taken her a couple times already, and we'll just continue to do so. Again, grass season is her time of the year. She does really well on this surface and generally beats players who she's better than or a little more erratic than her. And speaking of which, we've got Caroline Garcia, who's been playing some great tennis, but kind of a little above her head. Won a tournament coming into this week. Did have a nice win in the first round there, although she struggled just a bit. I have Zhang as a small favorite here, so plus anything, and you can see some plus 10s, plus 15 still out there. All looks good to me. Again, not going to try to go 2-0 or play like an alt spread sometimes. Um, Given what Garcia is capable of, this could be a very long match, and don't get down if Zhang's behind early or ahead, or get excited if she's ahead early. It's going to be a little bit of a battle here, but I think Zhang comes out. I'd have her as the favorite, so I'll take her at plus money. And Allison risk overs. Let's just keep doing it. It's a thing. It happens, and she goes against Marie Buzkova, who will give her a really tough match. And again, I'm just happy to take the 21.5 here. I probably should be sprinkling the over 2.5 set at this point, even though the number doesn't look great to me. But 21.5 games, if you want to sell up to 22, that's fine as well. Again, risk overs, they just continue to cash on grass. It's kind of a thing. The market doesn't really adjust to the way she's able to serve, but also kind of open matches up and make things honestly get a little choppy. I mean, just completely punted a set yesterday to catch the over, and I think we'll see something like that. But Buzkova's a good talent. I think that's actually going to be a tight, fun match. Might even look at some first set overs or something like that. And then 2 futures, as you mentioned. On the men's side, it's been injury, but on the women's side, it's just been players losing matches. You go down into the fourth quarter there, and unfortunately, one of them was our outright pick. Belinda Bencic goes down. It just didn't look like she was healthy. Came into the tournament with a possible knee injury and looked like the time that she had taken didn't really help her recover. So she gets knocked out. Annette Kontaveit, never really very good on grass, gets knocked out. And now we have a bottom half of the draw, Andy, where the final 4 to make the quarterfinal are Heather Watson, Kai Yuvan, Lesia Sorenko, and Jewel Niemeyer. So I'm going to take the winner of those matches. I'll have them playing each other in the next round, and then the winner of that, basically a net of, I think it's right around plus 300 or something when you put the two together. Maybe plus 350. I forget if it actually works just one way like that. But either way, I think I'm going to have a nice number on one of these 2 women in the quarterfinal. It's just things have really opened up down there, and they look like 2 players that honestly not only can challenge maybe Ostapenko in that quarterfinal, but should be there either way. So give me plus 700 on what I think is going to be one of the 2 quarterfinalists there in the bottom.
I don't hate adding that. I did that with Cam Norrie. I added some Cam Norrie to my
Which definitely wasn't a sweat
portfolio.
yesterday.
Oh my god, I forgot. I'm looking to see where I bet Taylor Pendrith, and I forgot I bet fucking Tour de France stuff last night. I got to update my sheet a little with some. I'm have some small bets on the Tour de France and the maybe the NHL draft as well. So yeah, we're getting some degenning going on, Andy. You gotta rein it in, rein it in. You know what's good? Tomorrow is a sit down and evaluate June's numbers. So maybe that'll help me get my shit together as I look at how did you lose this much money betting soccer, Andy? And then you go back and look. Oh, because I'm a degenerate with a gambling problem. Not really.
It's just like, remember what you said in the NBA draft, those little small bets, they add up.
Just when it comes to soccer. So, speaking of small bets that add up, I placed 6 first round head to head matchups.
Ooh.
Sometimes I only have 2. Sometimes I have 1. I've had 1. So I think this is the most I've ever played in one round this year. Just, you know, but Bookmaker and Bet Online had the 2 different sets, and I found 3 I liked. I really, really need Stephen Jaeger to not do well. Apparently, I bet against him twice with a couple. And you know what? Actually, Taylor Pendrith withdrew with an illness before he could tee off. So, right from the start, looking at that bottom one, you're not going to find that matchup. If you can, you shouldn't bet it because it's just going to cancel anyway. But people are asking questions. It's funny on the timeline about COVID withdrawals for tennis. Golf is similar unless you bet some super, super deep future months and months and months ago on a major. A lot of those are going to be, doesn't matter what happens. The guy could literally, get kidnapped, be, killed by the mafia. Those are all, all bets are action.
All in play.
They might give you a little break if the guy did get,
he gets
whacked.
murdered.
Yeah, I feel like that's just bad PR to
that could be a bad beat refund. Yeah. Sorry, your golfer got murdered.
Sorry, he got in trouble with the Chechnyan mob. But anyway, Pendrith did not take a swing. he didn't read his tea time is this afternoon, so I have an outright on him as well. That should refund because it was just placed earlier this week. But yeah, the other four, Grayson Murray is someone I've picked on a little bit. Twitter picks on him a little bit too because he's a creep ass. But this is less that, more golf skill. I was gonna lay a heavy number, but they gave me -120 on the half stroke. And the same thing goes with that Rogers over Piercy. Both of those at Bet Online last night. Norlander over Murray, Rogers over Piercy, both laying a half stroke. The top one, Murray, is more of a Murray fade. The second one is definitely a bet on Rogers. I like Patrick quite a bit. I bet him outright as well this week. And then I did mention Mr. Steven Jagger. Bet against him as well with Lanto Griffin. We've never determined which one's right, but Griffin's somebody I had high on my board
Not
this
Lando
week.
Griffin.
Didn't bet him outright though. I didn't quite like the price on that, but I probably will be using him in some matchups. And then another guy I did bet outright, Matthias Schwab. Yeah, I got him. He doesn't tee off till 1:20 p.m. He is going to be taking on Charlie Hoffman in the matchups. Yeah, and apparently Jaeger is popular with the golf slack. They bet on him. So whatever, head to head. Guess like it just might be the Tony Finau Patrick Reed matchup again, where we went head to head. We'll see how that. We'll see what history says about these. So Matthias Schwab over Charlie Hoffman. Charlie Hoffman again. It was one of those where, do you guys remember the Valero? Where it's like, hey, guess what? This guy, he like got second place 2 years in a row, and everybody bet him. Like, not everyone's doing that here because it's not like he'd gotten really high placings at the John Deere year after year. But the problem with betting him at Valero is because he sucks. He stinks. Like, he's just not playing great golf. So Charlie Hoffman is just not trending in the right direction to be betting on ever. So one of my outrights matched up against him at a halfway decent price. I had to snag that too. So it looks like I'm going 3-1 if it's the Griffin Jaggers one. And I'm getting blowback about the Tsitsipas airhead thing. He's Greek and likes philosophy. I think it's fair from some of his Instagram posts to label him a little bit. He's
A lot of stupid people like philosophy, by the way.
He's unique. Yeah.
In fact,
And
stupid people often quote philosophy more than smart people I know.
It's not like I don't bet on the guy. He broke my heart good once. I had him in the final against Joker where he was up 2-0. That one I couldn't even watch it. I was up my garden the whole time. He's a himbo. And I like him too. Remember I ate that Euro that one time and he didn't lose for like 2 straight weeks there.
That's true. It was because of the Euro.
It was because of the Euro. Oh my God, Greek sounds amazing right now. I'm very hungry.
It's true.
I did say I'd get to some degen stuff here. My home team, the Minnesota Twins, of which I did attend a game this year. Not only them, but their minor league squad. So I'm a super fan. So I'm back on the Twins bandwagon. Again, I did, if you watched early in the season, I did take some season-long futures on them to win the division, the pennant, the World Series, because there were some outlier prices I found. And so I am cheering for them. I have to, even if I am not truly super fan. But they play, it's a day game, and Shane Bieber popped up on my timeline last night. Frank Brank. You know Frank?
We haven't had money in the Brank in a while. We need to have him money in the Brank.
I'm going to call him. I'm going to get him on. But
I'll go out to Pittsburgh and get him.
I had to go find this tweet because he mentioned something about Bieber's velocity being way down, but he's still been able to limit runs somehow. He's just keeping hard hit balls in the park for some reason. Well, wind's blowing out to dead center right now. 8-10 miles an hour. Could kick up a little bit here in the afternoon, but yeah. Progressive Field faces due north with its center field wall. I mean, it's a straight north and south. Everything's blowing out to the lake. Humidity's okay, but Buxton, I did look at splits. Buxton versus Shane Bieber. He's like 3 for 10 against him, but all of it's from 2019, 2020. So hasn't faced him in quite a while. I don't think you can glean much from that. And Buxton is better against lefties slightly, so maybe the splits don't agree 100%, but I'm still gonna take him against Bieber here, just based on how good he is and the fact I'm getting plus money on over 1.5 total bases. So hopefully and he's batting second. He bats second. So you're getting the second most implied at bats than anybody on the field. So I will take Buxton over 1.5 total bases. You can find this most places
It's a fun name.
plus 110. Yeah, Byron Buxton and Shane Bieber. It's like a
Not
boy
related
band
to Justin?
face off. I don't think so. I do believe he is a believer though. And then home run, most places plus 250, plus 260. I did find a rogue plus 275. I didn't look at legals because I'm not driving to Iowa this early in the morning just to bet a DGen Homer baseball prop. Those are the
Is
best
there a good
prices I
gyro
found.
place down there?
There is not. The town I crossed the border into, one bar, one antique shop, and then the Casey's
No
is a little
gyro
further down
places.
there. No,
Not that I'm surprised.
no, it's
I mean, it's
not
Iowa.
much of a town. Although I will say a nice thing, Decorah, good pizza place there if you keep going. So with that, yeah. And Patrick says, yeah, his velo is down nearly 2 miles per hour. That's good. That's what I need. I need Buxton just pops one. You know what? Hits the wall. I'm fine with it. We cash at least the over 1.5 total bases because
Beautiful.
he's getting a double at least. So that starts in about an hour and 20 minutes. A lot of those golf matchups are early-ish tee times. I think Schwab Hoffman is 120. I believe these are going to be central times because of where it's located. So maybe you do have like 2.5, 3 hours for a lot of these matchups.
I can dig it.
All right.
That's it.
Let's good. Let's good.
Strange dentist stories, tennis picks, a lot of golf today.
Yeah, it was very someone mentioned this is a very summary episode of Brown Bag Bets. You just wait. We're gonna bet on preseason football. It is coming up.
Win total Wednesday. It's got to be right around the corner.
Win total Wednesday is coming. And did they offer first touchdown scores in preseason? That could be a very wild untapped market if you start to read like who's actually going to be playing and how long they're going to be playing. You could take some people who, I mean, what if the first team doesn't score for both teams and all of a sudden they got like guys way down the roster? Like you just pick the fifth tight end,
I've never even thought to look. I'm ashamed of myself.
No, in a few weeks we're going to start looking for that. So
somebody maybe is dumb enough to do that. All right, come on. Let's go.
All right. Thanks to our sponsor, FanDuel. Thanks to you guys. Hit the thumbs up. We'll check you later.